Hey, what's going on, everybody? Israel Galindo here at Advanced Networks. I hope you guys are doing great out there. I wanted to give you a quick tour on Office 365 online versus your local Office 365. So basically what we're going to start off is just a quick tour of what is the difference between going to Office 365, what it means in your local applications that you use on a daily basis. So as we always talk about technology moving so quickly and so fast, when I say back in the day, that means probably a year or two ago. So back in the day when we used to use applications on our computer, we would install Microsoft Office on our computer, Word, Excel, and all of that stuff. If you come from the Gmail world, you'll notice that when you log into Gmail or an online cloud application, you have all your applications in the browser and you work on it from the browser. So for us, with 365 subscription that you pay on a monthly basis, you have all of your applications online. So there's no need to be having to go to your computer and install Word and Excel and all of those. You still can do that. But the freedom of it is that you can go to any computer, log into it, and work on the browser and then leave the computer. You don't even need to have your laptop on you. You can do it on your tablet devices, your grandma's house, your grandpa's house, your kid's house. It doesn't matter. You can use the computer across the board accessing Office 365. So a lot of you have the local applications or have moved into the Microsoft 365 world and wanted to kind of give you a scoop on that. So one of the first things that you want to do when you want to access these things, and we're going to go through why you have advantages of doing that, is when you open up your browser, you want to go to office.com, or some of you might have the longer link, which is login.microsoftonline.com. Either one works. All it's going to take you through is it's just going to take you to sign into your account. In our examples, we're just using our receptionist on here with her password. So we would log into that information, which then it would take you to a page like this. I'm actually going to enhance the screen so you guys can see it. When you go to office.com or login.microsoftonline.com, you're going to basically get to your home page, your login page. This is very customizable to how you wanted to set up. You can drag stuff around. You can add certain folders. You can pin certain things and so on. But let's start on the beginning. Where are my applications? Well, your applications are going to be on the left-hand side, and you can actually add certain applications you're working on. But there's so many more than those. If you click the little dots on the left-hand side, you're going to see a slew of applications that you can use, including, as you can see, Adobe Cloud that I just added in my system. So adding all of these, you can pin them for stuff that you work on. For me, I work in Excel a lot. I use my calendar and I use Sway. So I would pin these items by clicking on here and pinning them to my launcher. So it would be like that. Once you've got these things added, you also have people. This is who you would chat with, kind of like Messenger. But let's go through the apps. So for me, if I go into my homepage, you're going to notice again your apps on the left-hand side: Word, Excel, PowerPoint, email, which is your Outlook, your OneDrive, which is very important, and we'll go into that as well. OneNote, again, whatever you've got on there, SharePoint, which is your corporate OneDrive or your server, as we call it, and then your Teams, which is another video for another day. In the center, you're going to have basically your items that you've worked on, your documents, if you will, your OneDrive documents, and again, we'll go into that in a minute, and your SharePoint, which again, your business drive, your shared server, if you will. You can, again, install Office here by clicking this button. If IT hasn't done that for you, you can do that. But again, having the benefit of the online, it's going to be being able to have the freedom to be disconnected from any computer and work as you will. So we're going to go through and do that. So say, for example, I'm creating a Word document, right? I can go on here and look at documents and templates that I have, or I can go into my documents that I might have on my local computer, or documents that I have shared with me, and we can go on that. But for right now, we're just going to go back into Word and just create a new document. When I create a new document, I can type whatever I want on here. This is for any application that you can think of. And once I'm done, I can just close it because it's a application on the internet, so it auto saves for you. You don't hit the save button. I can leave it as is. But that being said, if you wanted to save it to another location, you can do save as, and then you can call the document whatever you like. And as you can see, it's saving to my document online on the cloud. This is on your OneDrive that is specifically set as your storage location with Microsoft. So if I wanted to save it to another location, I can go in here and select my folder structure that I have on my local computer, as well as syncing to my online drive. Now, if it was something corporate that I needed to do with my corporation, I can go here, add it to my clients and so on. And then anybody in the system would be able to see it if I give them access to it. So that would be a way of saving your document. For now, we're just going to leave it as is so I can kind of show you. Going back to our master account, you guys will notice that when I've gone back into it again, here's the document that I didn't name, and I'll need to name it, that I can work with. And I will show you in a minute about sharing. But do you need the applications to work on these documents? No. If you have the applications on your computer, say at work, and you're working remotely, you can still pull the same data because 365 is tied to each other, whether it's apps or online. You still, again, have the freedom of working on that. So let's move on to OneDrive and SharePoint and how that all works. So the difference between OneDrive and SharePoint is going to be OneDrive is going to be your selected drive or space that's sitting on your computer, your master computer that you work of, or your online drive, and they're working in unison. To give you an example of that is I'm going to pull up my directory structure that I've got on here. And if you notice on here, I've got my documents that I was testing with. Yes, I have a Yo Mama PDF document. But I've got, this is going to be my OneDrive right here. This OneDrive is my desktop documents and everything that lives on my computer. This is a personal one, unrelated. So we're working with this. This is exactly what I'm going to be seeing here. Now, because I'm logged in as a different user than my Israel account, they're not mirrored. But if I had logged in as me, you would see all my documentation, etc. here. Anything you save here saves on your local computer because of your OneDrive down here in the corner that syncs everything up. And let me click on it so you guys can see it right here. This is actually syncing everything up on the system. And again, I'll have another video for OneDrive that I can share with you later on. But for now, we're basically focusing on when you work on a document online, you can see it locally and so on. So the difference between OneDrive and SharePoint is OneDrive is going to be your personal documents, etc., on your computer online that works just for you. You can share it with other people, but if you have access to your SharePoint or your business server or your corporate, then that's when you can go into here and then see the documents that needs to be seen for the corporation, which is for us, Advanced Networks. And this is where I would see my documents and so on and so on. That being said, if I have a document that I'm worked on, for example, this one right here, this document, could I share it with somebody across the board instead of having to email it? Again, last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you would take an attachment, send an email to someone, and then attach the file to them, and they would see the file and return it to you. Now you can basically send a document to someone and share it right away with anybody that you want. So this document we were just working on, I can hit the share button, and I can send a link or an email if you want. You can still send an email, but the easiest thing is I can set the restrictions here. I don't want people to edit it. I just want to have somebody to see it. So if I apply that, or maybe you do want an edit, I could send this to whoever I want to send it to. An example, I could send it to this person as I'm logged in as Ashley and send the message. They will get a link that allows them to view that document with a preview and read only, as I disabled the editing of the document. But it is that easy. Now, if you want to go old school, you can still click the Outlook button, and Outlook will open up because, again, you're working online, and it'll look like the old school email from like 2 years ago. I'm being funny. message, test message attachment. And again, it would be sent off as the email user. Yes, you can still do that. But for the way that we're turning everything now, we are doing it a different way. We're actually going a different direction with our way we share things with people. We send them links so they can modify the document. Maybe you're working with a customer or a vendor that needs to edit and view the document at the same time as you. That is possible. I can share this document with multiple people, give them rights to view and edit, and all of you guys can be modifying the document at the same time. Now, what if somebody shared a document with me? Well, I would click on share with me. If anything is shared with me, I would see those documents. They don't live on your folder. They live wherever they shared it from. They live in their storage, but you're collaborating. That's the word that we need to remember. Collaboration online. It's quicker response. You can work with customers and vendors and your clients better and be able to work and modify and all of these things in a faster timeline than, hey, did you get that email? I sent you an email. Did you not see the email? Did you look at the email? If I send something and share it with someone, it'll let me know when they clicked it, if they viewed it, if they didn't do that. If I send a proposal to someone, I haven't looked at it yet. Well, I know you looked at it at 8:15 a.m. this morning, and so on and so on. So again, that also works with Excel. You can do the same thing with Excel. I'm just clicking a template right now. And as you can see, I don't need an application. It's all part of the browser and the website. I can work on this. And while I'm hitting a button, I can hit the share on the left-hand side and literally share it with people. I can do it this way, share it with anybody with a link. I could actually copy the link. It could give me a link on here. And then I can paste that with my regular apps if I needed to. Otherwise, I could just put in their email. Another cool thing about all of these applications is they have comments on the right-hand side. You can put in a comment in a certain area. If I'm working in this area here, I can add a new comment and I can say, make sure you review the invoice terms, sure to review terms. And I put that on there. So it'll mark on here that there is a little note letting me know that there's a comment. And you can do that with people. Anybody can respond back and go, thank you so much, Ashley. Really appreciate that. That is another amazing thing about being able to work online, is having the ease of communication between each other in the documents. Now, again, these applications can also be set up for your office.com on your iOS devices, Android devices, and so on. For me, I really like to live online and I really like to work this way. This is very helpful also when you're working with, in a public location where you have to borrow a computer, or like for me, I go visit customers. And when I'm on customers, if I don't have my laptop with me, I can then log on their machines on the browser, do what I need to do, and move on as need be. So, okay, that was really a quick tour of how you use Office, how you get into it. There's so many other cool things that you can change or customize your theme and the way that your preferences are, two-factor authentication, and that's more in detail of security. One last thing I do want to show you is email under Outlook. If you look at your email this way, it will show you again the items that we're working with in regards to how everything is set up. Really like Outlook. There really isn't a lot of changes, except for you do have a lot of good information and a lot of changes that you can again add and modify. There even is a chat window under Teams, and then again, Teams is your collaboration application where you can talk to your team members and even outside of your organization, which again goes a little further in regards to communication and collaboration. So going back to Outlook, everything looks the same, acts the same. You still have a signature that you would across the board and so on. And you still have groups and accounts, contacts, and everything else that you do in your email program. You just get to do it online like we all do. So, all right, I'm making this video a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but I wanted to give you just a quick tour of office.com. Don't forget, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and hit our website, anwsol.com. Our phone number, 805-233-6407, and you can reach us there. And if you're part of our ANWS family, feel free to go to our ANWS support site. If you're not, feel free to submit a ticket and we will get a hold of you with our information of our company as far as linking you to our ANWS family. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and our tag is going to be ANWSOL, so feel free to add us on that. I'm Israel Galindo. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let us know. Otherwise, I will talk to you on the next run. See you soon.